secret, so I can't officially announce, but I want to also recognize the patron of the foundation, PS, Ministry of Education, Michelle Charles, distinguished guest speakers, Dr. Tamara Remy and Mrs. Shimalin Sidoni John, ladies and gentlemen, friends, well-wishers, those here, those of you joining us virtually, and especially to the entire Saul family, our head of people and culture, Diane Catlin. Good morning. The pleasure is mine, as in all things, and especially on this day of the Lord, to invite Sister to lead us in prayer so we can begin. Sister?
We bow our heads in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for this day. We praise and thank you for renewed health and renewed strength. We thank you, Lord, for this foundation. We thank you for all that they seek to do. We ask you, Lord, that you may bless our proceedings here today. You may bless all those involved. You may bless our speaker. And Lord, that you may bless all the girls whom this foundation, Lord. We ask you, Lord, that you may continue to guide us. You may continue to be with us. You may continue to keep us safe. And remember, especially in a special way, all the families who have been affected by the recent surge in crime and violence in our country. So, Lord, we just want to thank you, we praise you, and we bless your name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Sister. I just ask that you just indulge me for 1 minute, 30 seconds. Later on in the program, we will unveil who were the founders and who were the people working in the last 18 months behind the scenes, and then we took a decision to really register the foundation. But one of the founders would have been here with us today. In fact, she is in Miami. She's on her way home, but she's on her way home for a different reason. Clemma Hippolyte is the legal attorney for the foundation, a very close and dear friend of mine. Her mom, Maria, stayed many nights when we were fighting on different things about the foundation, different things we didn't agree on. Sadly, on Friday at 4:52 p.m., her mom passed. Please join me, 30 seconds. Let's just stand and have a moment of silence. Thank you very much. May the angels welcome her into the new and eternal Jerusalem. Please be seated. Thank you. I think you would be happy to know that I am not the mistress of ceremonies for today. When I approached Her Excellency and I saw her, in her eyes, her love for what we are doing, I recognized she would come. So I said, you know what, I need to be on my best behavior today. So I definitely will not be able to MC. So it is my pleasure to introduce our MCs for this evening. Melissa Felix is the Operations Administrator at Saul EC Limited and graciously agreed. All of you would have interacted with her in one way or the other, whether it is a call, an email. She was the little elf behind the scenes doing all of the magic, along with Alma St. Louis, who's our customer service rep from the South. She lives in Swaziland, and she was one of the first people here today. Put your hands together as I hand over the proceedings to our mistresses of ceremony.
The world is full of diamonds and gems, and some of them are here with us today to make this event more beautiful. Good morning and a warm welcome to Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, Governor General Emeritus, our guests, our esteemed guest speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I am Minessa Felix.
And I am Alma St. Louis.
And we are your hosts this morning. My colleague here today will do the welcome remarks.
Thank you. Good morning, beautiful ladies. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone here today and our viewers on social media to the second annual Beauties Brunch event organized by Girls Foundation, made possible through co-sponsorship by Sol EC Limited, Parkland Pledge, and the founding members of the foundation. Today, we come together to celebrate International Women's Day 2023 as we embrace equality and use this occasion to put a face to the people behind the foundation. We would like to extend a special welcome to the founders of Girls, Growing in Real-Life Situations. Your generosity and desire for assisting the youth will tremendously impact them. An exceptional welcome is extended to Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, our Sisters of St. Joseph Cluny, Dr. Tamara Remy, Shemeline Sidoni, and Deborah Edward. I know that your profound presentations will serve as an inspiration and influence us, particularly our daughters present today. We couldn't have pulled off this event without the hard work and the dedication of the individuals who worked diligently from day one to make today a reality. Thank you again to everyone for participating.
Girls Foundation. I think everyone here today are a little familiar with the name. What is Girls Foundation about? Girls is a non-profit organization initially founded in 2017 by Deborah Edward and co-founders Kendra Batu, Maria Lynch, and Clema Hippolyte. The organization works to aid at-risk girls between the ages of 10 and 18 to navigate and overcome difficult and adverse conditions such as poverty, abuse, and pregnancy, which may hinder their ability to successfully complete their secondary and tertiary level education. Understanding that our youth's ability to gain and benefit from a sound education is heavily influenced by environmental factors and personal factors. Girls work to invest in qualifying candidates in a holistic manner to improve participating youth's life skills, including self-confidence, leadership, communication, and presentation, to build youth resilience and success through goal setting and support mechanisms to achieve same, to assist with recovering and remaining in the education system when faced with pregnancy. Girls' support method includes assistance with meals, assistance with accessing scholarships in the future, interview preparation and presentation skills, provision of academic lessons and tutors, pregnancy assistance, counseling and childcare, counseling to address traumatic events and circumstances, including physical and sexual abuse. A special thank you to Mrs. Bernadette Shalry, the CEO of FCE Freedom to Fly, a UK-based trauma consultant and winner of the influential Black Women in Inner Cities in the UK award. Also, access to crisis management resources, mentorship provided by accomplished professionals and entrepreneurs in traditional and new industries, example, commerce, as well as etiquette training. The founders believe that together, we all have a part to play in leaving the world better than we found it, and this includes helping young women become self-sufficient so that they can be productive members of society. Thank you. We will now have the introduction of our guest speakers. Our first guest speaker, Dr. Tamara Remy.
So, before Dr. Tamara Remy comes up, I will be telling you a little more about her. Tamara Remy is a mother and a general surgeon with an interest in breast health, breast diseases, and breast cancer. She is currently a consultant at Tapio and Owen King Hospital. Tamara is the president of St. Lucia Cancer Society, a member of the American College of Surgeons, American Society of Breast Surgeons, and the Caribbean College of Surgeons. She has an undergraduate and postgraduate training at UWI, Mona, Jamaica.
Our second speaker for today, Mrs. Shemalyn Sidoni John. Shemalyn is currently a global marketing lead for Grace Kennedy with over 10 years marketing and branding experience, successfully building global brands. She's an international certified personal brand strategist and career pivot mentor for purpose-driven women, leaders who want to make a global impact. Shemalyn is the CEO and founder of the influential Boss Lady LLC, TEDx speaker, mentor, and now a best-selling author. She is passionate about helping high-performing, purpose-driven women, marketing leaders, CMOs, CEOs, and founders build influential, profitable, personal brands online. Shemalyn helps leaders stand out, attract global opportunities on autopilot, and expand their impact as trusted go-to-industry leaders without feeling arrogant or boastful. Shemalyn helps you create and own your next level of success with an influential personal brand you profit from. This passion was fueled from her personal experience of climbing the corporate ladder and receiving noteworthy mentions and accolades from the leadership team, only to find out that when financial decisions needed to be made, she was among the first to be let go from her job and had no backup plan. As a woman in leadership, Shemalyn also uses her platform to drive change. This manifests in mentorship and service to organizations she cares about. As a wife to Lionel John and mother of 2 amazing children, she had to live by example and inspire through action. But most importantly, your career success should not be determined by someone else. Shemalyn believes that as a leader, if you are committed to growth, change, and impact, if you adopt a we rise mindset, you own your individual impact and amplify the outcome of those you lead at work, in the community, and globally. Shemalyn is on a mission to help purpose-led women in leadership create the next level of success that matters more through personal branding so you can change the world. Please help me welcome our first guest speaker, Dr. Tamara Remy.
know the adjustment has to be made. Okay, so I would like to observe the protocol that has been adopted. Thank you. I would also like to congratulate the team on the launch of this very essential foundation. And as I get older, I continue to recognize what our role as women continues to be. So you would have heard in my bio a lot about the medical aspect of me, and Deborah did ask me to speak about cancer at the launch of this foundation, which we're not going to speak about, not as the word cancer, right? I think that there's just a lot of positivity in the room, that whenever we speak about cancer, there's an immediate negativity. But I will touch on the things that we can do as women and men to improve our health and encourage healthy living. I think that that is more where we should focus. And a lot of the information about cancer, you can Google, you know, certain aspects of it. But as I've gotten older, again, yes, I realize that my role as a mother, so while I've spent a lot of my life working on my career, I go back to my role as a mother and as a female, as a woman. And while we've fought a lot for equity, equality, our roles as the nurturer, I think, is a prominent role. And when we speak about empowerment, my definition of empowerment and independence has certainly grown. So when I was at the convent in my teens, we were pushed, you need to be as good as, you need to be better than. I went into university with the same attitude that there's nothing that the guys who are surgeons can do that I cannot do. So when you have to cut off something, I'm there sewing away, and it's like, the males are there to assist, but there's no way as a female I'm going to let them do it better than me. Now, if you come into my operating room and I have an assistant who's a male, I will kindly step back and say, you're stronger than me, go ahead. But I can't do it. And so my definition of independence is having the choice. Making myself educated enough and empowered enough to know that there's nothing that I cannot do. It doesn't mean I have to fight to do it all. I don't want to do it all. But our roles as mothers and as women in society and in our families includes encouraging and making sure that the persons who are entrusted to us, we take care of in terms of their health. And that's the angle in terms of what I do that I like to focus on. So healthy living, what do we mean by that? I believe in a holistic approach. I believe in the physical, I believe in the mental, I believe in the spiritual. And I think once you have all of those, then you have a healthy person. So we speak about, and the one thing I will say is that up to 50% of cancers can be prevented. Knowing that, I think, empowers us even more. So yes, you can do everything that you are capable of doing to ensure that you live a healthy life and you minimize your risks. And there will be some times when you've done all of that and things still happen. But let's focus on what we can do. So there's a variety of age groups here. So when we speak to the kids, we speak about limited time on devices. We speak about them running up and down outside. I see that in a lot of primary schools. The main physical education is hula hoops. We need to change that. We need to get our kids to go out. As women, we now have the career, we have the home. Some of us are single mothers. There's a lot of pressure. But we need to take the time, a little bit of time, to encourage our kids. And I think that the example that we set is what they're going to follow. So when we take care of ourselves, we encourage our children to at least be aware of what they should be doing. Smoking, you know, tobacco is something that if you were to ask about one risk factor for any disease, that's that. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. Alcohol is one of those topics that I have great difficulty, lecturing about, because up till now, one glass of wine is thought to be a risk factor, but one glass of wine is good for my heart. So I believe in moderation, but alcohol. And we can see so many examples of young men now who have turned to alcohol, and we're seeing all of what's going on. We are also responsible for our kids in terms of their vaccinations. We're responsible for making sure that they get their checkups. And I would like to focus on what we as women have to do to take care of our health in terms of our checkups. We take care of everybody else, and we don't take care of ourselves. So I would just like to remind you that if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to be able to pour from an empty cup. And it sounds kind of cliche, but you need to stop for a second and do the things that make you full. So you need to schedule the time. You need to, even if you're terrified of whatever that test is, you need to get it done. You need to surround yourself by women who are empowering to you. And that's the difference between us and males. I think we're able to have the conversation. We're able to laugh and talk about menopause. We're able to talk about all those things. And we need to utilize them. And I hope that the example in this room, taking different careers, different personalities and professions, and being able to sit together to work towards one goal, which is to support Deborah and her team, that we can do that in all aspects of our lives, because only together are we going to be able to make a difference. So I'd really like to express my condolences to Clemma. That's not easy at all, but she has the support of you. So I'm not here as the prophet of doom to talk about diseases, but as we evolve, our careers are important, and they are a means to an end, but I think we always go back to our roles as women, our roles as mothers, our roles as nurturers. And even in the health profession, we don't take a lot of care of ourselves, but I think giving back is one way as a health professional that we can make a difference. And that is where I would encourage everybody who is in my field or anything related to my field to kind of focus on. So encourage each other, exercise, take time for yourself. I think that stress is something we cannot avoid, but I think how we manage stress is going to be the determinant in a lot of our health. And we have a lot of strong women around us, and I think we need to utilize that, because mental health is just as important as our physical health. And so I would leave on that note, but I really congratulate you and encourage you, and I'm always available, whether it's to tutor, to provide whatever assistance. I will get my colleagues to rally around you whenever it is that you need our assistance, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Dr. Remy. Let us all give her another word. And as Dr. Remy stated, we as women, we do need to take care of ourselves in order for us to take care of our peers. I know as women, it's our natural instinct to be the nurturer. So let us take care of ourselves and start doing what we need to do, our little checkups, our exercises, eat healthier. So thank you very much, Dr. Remy, again, for those insightful words. I would like you to help me welcome Mrs. Shumalin Sidoni John.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. And in keeping with adapting, today I'm typically a speaker who likes to go around and engage, but I realize Lacan has nicely organized his setup, and I know from a marketing point of view and all of that. So I'm going to do my delivery from here today. So I hope it will be just as impactful. So this morning, I'm going to start off by asking you a question. Who's been in love? Raise your hand. Okay, love for somebody. But you know that feeling you get when you're in love? You know you want to get the information about that person. You ask their friends, their family. And these days, guess what? We go to Google University, right? To get every piece of information we could get. So what if I told you you had one shot, an opportunity to present yourself in a way for that dream guy that you want or that dream opportunity, and that shot will allow you to live a better life. But let's go deeper. Today we're here, some of us are here with our kids, right? Our daughters. What if I told you you had an opportunity to present yourself in a way that would shorten the success curve of your daughter, your brother, your team member or colleague within the organization that see themselves within you, or somebody on the other side of the world? Would you take a leap of faith as a leader and start to show up? Yes or no? I'm not hearing that. Yes or no? But here is the thing. Traditionally, as leaders and as women in leadership, we've been told that as ladies, we shouldn't be boastful about the things that we've done. We need not be arrogant about the things that we've done. And we need to be, a little silent, because we may come across as we are rubbing the wrong shoulders. Yes or no? But here's the thing. If you are given that one opportunity to impact the life of your daughter or your son, I'm going to ask you again, would you allow somebody else to take that chance? All right. Your personal brand is simply your reputation in the room. But the thing is, most of us, everybody in here, have a personal brand. But we have not learned how to use our personal brands strategically, intentionally, and professionally. Yes or no? Yes. All right. But here's the thing. Learning how to market our most valuable asset, brand you, will create. Are you hearing me? Yes. Today, and this month, the theme for Women History Month is about embracing equity. But the truth of the matter is, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But you know how we could put aside what others have to say and understand, first of all, our personal brand is not about us. Let's bust some myths here today. It's not about you. It's about the person who needs you most, the person who's a couple of steps ahead of you. That's number one. Number two, your personal brand is about your values and aligning yourself with opportunities and people who align with your values. That's why I'm here today. Your personal brand is about service. Are you following me? Service to others. So as women, okay, and I'm in a room surrounded by a set of powerhouse women, okay? Today, if there's one thing I want you to leave here today, is to understand and think about that person who needs you most. That person from the organization you lead. That person from the community you come from. That person from the other side of the world who need you. And understand, what is that unique strength that you have? Before, right? Me on a TEDx stage, I would have been, the stage is huge and all of that. So how do I leverage this that I know maybe persons would come after me and use it? How do I leverage my country? And how do I leverage my purpose, right? During my TEDx talk, I decided to, and Deborah, under the advice of Deborah, to embrace the fact that I am this short 5'2" girl from St. Lucia. But guess what? I'm representing every St. Lucian and every woman on that stage with international leaders, because it was not about me. It was about the woman in leadership who had worked hard, who had brought in those results, and yet still, despite working hard, she understood that that's not going to guarantee her success. I needed to represent this if I had to lead. And I needed to build a movement of women who sometimes feel intimidated and insecure because of what other persons feel, to let them see that if I can do it, so can you. Everybody in here can do it. Everybody in here has impacted a life in one way or another. So anytime in that moment you decide that I am ready to do this, forget about the naysayers. It's not about me. Speak to that one person who needs you most. So let's talk about how you stand out. I want you to think about this flower on a pond. You see how beautiful it looks? But at the bottom of the flower is where you get the mud, the dirt, the water, and so on. The flower on top represents the story, our beautiful, you know what we see, we're polished. Yes? But you know what? The mud at the bottom, the stones, that's where the lessons lie. And that's what we need to pull from to teach those persons that we need most. So your story, ladies, no matter how insignificant you feel your stories are, that is the foundation for building a brand that stands out. You know why? Because there is only one you. Let me hear you. There is only one you. So leverage your stories to touch another person's life. Leverage your stories, because from your story, you will get your purpose. You following me? So number one is your story. Number two, from your story, we're going to get your purpose. Your purpose is what's going to allow you to build a movement. Look at the movement Deborah is building. Give her a round of applause. Your story, your purpose. Then we go into your secret sauce, okay? Your zone of brilliance. There's something that you do that nobody could do better than you. And I don't want, when I speak about your secret sauce, I'm not just speaking about your accolades and your qualifications. You see those soft skills that sometimes we take for granted? The fact that you're caring, the fact that you're nurturing, the fact that you have high emotional intelligence. Because of that, you're able to build and lead and influence and impact. That's where your secret sauce lies, ladies. So do not take it for granted. What is your secret sauce? All right? Let's go. You need to speak to one person. Who is your one person? Because when you speak to different people, your message and your impact gets diluted. You know who's my person? A woman in leadership who continues to work hard, who continues to bring results, but she understands that success is not enough. That success is not enough to take her to the next level, and she wants her next level to be one where there's purpose, where there's impact, and create her own level of success, create a table, and bring other women along with her. That is my person. So who is your person? Who is that person that needs you most? All right? The next point to create a standout brand that's impactful, your thoughts, your perspective, your unique thoughts and perspective. Don't be afraid to express your views with confidence. It's your views. Knowing that everybody is not going to be in alignment with you, that's okay. Putting yourself out there means that not everybody is going to be with you, and that's fine. And last but not least, if you really, really want to adopt a we rise mentality, there must have been something about your process that contributed to your success. So what is your winning formula? What is your winning formula? Your winning formula becomes your personal brand intellectual property and a footprint which you use to help another sister up. That's how you adopt a we rise mentality, and this is how you create a standout, influential, and profitable personal brand. Now, ladies, I will tell you, it's not going to be easy. There will be blood, sweat, and tears. But I'm going to reiterate, every time you put yourself out there, think of the person who needs you. Think of the person you're a couple of steps ahead of. So today, I'm encouraging everybody in here, use your voice. Use your voice in a way that feels good, in a way that feels authentic, in a way that's true to your values. Today, everybody in here who's built a successful career and believes that they want to do more, transition within their same role, but with more purpose. Trust your gut. And last but not least, today, I want to tell every one of you to let your inner badass run the show. You ready? Let's go. Deborah, thank you for awarding me an opportunity to present here. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this journey. It's exactly what I embody and what I am about. And ladies, I'm encouraging all of you. You're here to support Deborah today. Create your own movements. Create your own movements, because that is your true legacy. Thank you.
Very inspirational and motivational. Yes. So here we're learning that our personal brand is about the person who needs you the most, your values, and the service to others to help change that person's life. There is only one you, okay? We now have the presentation of the website by Javin Leon.
I'm not due to speak yet, but I just want to say something about the website. There's a very terrible flu going around, and Javid caught it. He wanted to be here in person. He was the second approved guy to be here after the GD's protection. Well, the third, my staff was there. But Javid is ill. However, we do have and this work, we can't do it on our own, so we have a lot of resource persons. So we have the content lady for the website, Gina, who is going to be presenting on behalf of Javid. And one of the beautiful things COVID did, so right now we have 4 young girls that we are tutoring and working with. And one of the great things COVID did is COVID allowed us to go virtual. So everything is done on Zoom. No longer have to pay Uptown Girls Center to use the space on a Saturday. But with COVID and everything going virtual, the idea of the website will now allow us, and you will see it. I'm so proud of this website. It cost us some good money, but I'm immensely proud at how young girls, initially we will say in St. Lucia, but because it's virtual, anybody will be able to register on the website, access the content. I think 2 o'clock this morning, they're still telling me the final thing is a secret. The founders, we haven't even seen the final thing. So we will be seeing it in real time with all of you. So Gina, over to you. Now, don't surprise me too much, yeah? Don't make me cry. Over to you, Gina.
Is it okay if I adjust? Thank you. And it's shifting. Please forgive me. I'm joining the badass short people. Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. I would like to establish the protocol that have already been set, and I'm thanking you for the opportunity to be able to present on behalf of Mr. Javin Leo and the Beyond Logic team. It is a team of graphic designers, programmers, and web designers who've really come together to bring together what it's not called a website, but the story of what girls, or what they envision girls to be. So I'm asking that we put the lights off so that you can get a proper appreciation of the site. Can everybody see? Can everybody see? So as you can see, the logo has been redesigned to really represent what it is to be a girl, and that is growing in real life situations. So the butterfly with the woman's face coming out, you know what the story of a butterfly is. A butterfly is something that comes out and it blooms, and it shows and it represents growth. So the logo really embodies all that is to be in a growing in real life situations. The website is an interactive website, and as Ms. Edward has spoken, she really explained what it is, and after coming from COVID, how the world has had a new appreciation for what it is to be in a digitized era. So the website is very interactive. Tutoring can be done through the website. Registration of courses will also be done via the website. There is virtual participation of discussions that will take place. It also allows teachers who are willing to do tutoring as well and to volunteer their participation. They would be able to become a mentor using the website as well. Can I just ask that we scroll? Right, so throughout the website and throughout, this is just the home page. You can appreciate that this alone is the home page. The home page in itself will provide you all of the information that you need. But if we continue to scroll, can we stop here? Go back? So in real time, information will be uploaded to this site. So events that will happen, the numbers will change almost immediately. Outreach, if the group has done any outreach program, that number too will change almost immediately. Success stories from participants and girls who have been impacted by this, their stories will be uploaded as soon as it is placed on the website. You would see it. And persons who would be willing to fund donations made by corporate partners or just somebody who is interested in giving back, that information too will also be uploaded immediately. We can continue scrolling. Stories of empowering women or any story at all, because we do hope that a newsletter will be placed on the website. And with that newsletter, once it's uploaded, you would be able to see it here and also in the top parts where our web designer has asked that I do not click on any of the home pages. As much as I would want to show it to you, he's given me instructions that it's a surprise. He does not want me to select anything, but he did ask that I speak on it and to tell you that when you get onto the tabs at the top, you would be even more excited to see what's there. So the page will also include media releases. If the group has anything that has to go out to the media, it will be uploaded there. Any newsletter, press releases, persons interested would be able to see it. And as you could see, it is not a standstill page. There will always be movement. There will always be pictures changing and videos changing and so on. We can continue going up. Now, latest news. So if you do not want to click at the top, the latest news will also be found at the bottom. And there is a video. Can we go back up just a little bit? Right here. The video, well, a promotional advert that will show off the group will be placed on the site, so you would see it. It will always be in your face, and we'll go to the bottom of the page. Yes, contact information and everything that you need to know, and of course the logo yet again. So this is the website. It's a very interactive page, not only for, older persons, but for the girls especially. For the young ladies who would be interested in seeing what this group has to offer, they would be able to go on this page, be able to get tutors for the courses, be able to select a course that they would like to get some assistance in. For a teacher who's interested in giving back and providing that service, they too would be able to register to become a mentor, and in a record time, as soon as they register, that person would be on the site and able to assist the student. So it's a page that we're extremely excited about. I know that the team Beyond Logic is also excited about doing this, and I know that they too are excited about the plans that they have to continue to place on this website. It is not done. This is only the big picture. But the paragraphs in this story is even more exciting than what you see now. So I'm so excited that you've given me this opportunity, and I'm so excited for your listening ear. And I just want to give the team a shout out by a round of applause if you like this page. Awesome. Thank you so much. So I will let them know.
I feel like I need to hug you. And don't sit yet, Kendra. Don't sit yet, Kendra. The website is beautiful, but I think we lost some friendships along the way. I think we okay now, Kendra? We good. I just want to say this, and Javid, I know you're watching. We wanted to upload the pics and the bios for all of the founders. Can I give the joke? But when I uploaded my pic, they thought that my pic looked nicer than everybody else's own. So, internal joke. But when you go on the website, you will see everyone's picture. Gina, you guys have been amazing. I want to hug you and I want to thank you. Thank you so much. Before I hand over to the mistress of ceremonies, I want to say a few things. I reached out to a few teaching friends of mine, and more than one teacher said to me, the website, if we're going to put material there, teachers do make additional income from after-school lessons. And I was saying to her, no, it doesn't affect what you do. It actually enhances what you do. So the way we see it is, I was never good in algebra. I'm sure Sister Rufina remembers my math marks were never exciting. But I was never good in algebra. But if I see something over and over, it creates an image in my head. So the way when we sat and we were fighting on this, we said, but Mr. Xavier from the convent can walk through the steps of algebra, sit at home, record himself, and simply upload the footage. A teacher of history, like myself, because I have recorded a few things which will go on the website. I no longer teach, but I love history. So I will go on the website and I've recorded things, the colonialization of the East for A-level students. So if you don't want to read the entire book, you can watch a video, because there are people who learn like that. There are people who learn by watching videos and creates an image in their head. So I want to use this platform to encourage all teachers, whatever subject you teach, paying it forward is a blessing. Whatever you tutor, please feel free to become a mentor. That's the link you will have to click on, register as a teacher on the site, and upload footage. The footage will, of course, be verified by Gina. She will be screening everything, so we make sure what is uploaded will be content appropriate. But the website, I thought Gina would talk about that. The website also, we want students, because what we have done, and selfishly, because I'm an ex-convent girl, what we have done is remain where we are familiar. But if you're in Sozel and there's a subject you don't understand, there is a link where a student can go and register to get tutoring help. And because everything is now virtual, all we have to do, if you are having a challenge with POB, we do have people who are good in POB who would be able to tutor you in something. Second inside joke I'm going to give. We had a little bit of a fight about one thing on the website. We thought back and forth because the website cost us money to put together. And we were thinking that, you know, students would need to register and pay 20 US subscription. Kendra immediately said no, nobody's paying. So we were back and forth on it. And I can tell you, so far I have identified a sponsor for registration. I'm not at liberty to mention his name yet, but I know he's listening, I know he's watching, and I know he said to me, once the site is up and running, just write us and we will pay for subscriptions. So any child who registers on the website to access the videos and papers on the website will no longer have to pay the subscription. So Kendra, I know you're happy. So that's it for me on the website. We continue right into the program and I hand back over to the mistresses of ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Thank you very much, Gina and Javin, for putting such lovely work together. I will now call on Ms. Deborah Edward for the presentation of the founders.
Totally forgot I was next. I don't get a bio or something. I didn't realize, but I have to just ask an apology. There's a program. No. I want to make an apology and say I was here this morning at 6:30. I think, along with the team, I've been running around so much that I don't have a formal speech. So, they called me, but the PS is next. That's why I sat, I sat because I didn't think it was my turn. But as I am on my feet, just making sure everyone is paying attention, this was not an error. It is my distinct pleasure to call on my former colleague, classmate. Were you in Blessed Hands? Because, not at all. We're trying to make sure Blessed Hands, but it's St. Teresa's. It is my pleasure to invite the PS of Education, Miss Michelle Charles, who graciously agreed to address us. I see the theme is innovation and technology, and I was on a panel, and I had a paper with a notepad, and somebody messaged me and say, "Girl, you're on a panel about innovation and technology, and you have a notepad?" So Michelle, Michelle is following the theme. She has a notepad. JPS, over to you.
Thank you very much, Deborah, and good morning. I may have the tablet. That's simply because I'm not as eloquent as the speakers who went before me. But first, let me start off by acknowledging the presence of Her Excellency, Dame Paulette Louisi, Governor General Emeritus, the directors of the foundation, patron of the foundation, though this individual is still unnamed and a secret, ladies, gentlemen, and all the young ladies here with us. Good morning. I am indeed quite honored to be part of this launch and to be asked to deliver brief remarks at this event. Last Sunday, when Deborah reached out to me and invited me here, though she said, as PS of Education, it was my personal self, Michelle Sophie Charles, Jean-Michel, no bells, no whistles, no fancy titles, who was excited to attend. And so today, we're here for the launch of the Girls Foundation, a facility I believe is most definitely needed on our small island. And who best to lead, inspire, and motivate girls than other girls who have been led, inspired, and motivated themselves to excel and succeed. While we can all admit that the males in our society are struggling, we can also agree that our young ladies need assistance and guidance towards becoming the best possible versions of themselves. Many of our young ladies do not know what that means. They can't even begin to conceptualize their future selves. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no need for a young girl at 15 to be hell-bent on becoming the greatest Bitcoin director in 25 years, or set on being this awesome mother and wife by age 30, as if this was all there was to life. Mind you, I'm not knocking this at all. I think, however, really these are fine goals to have and work towards. But I think it is equally important to teach our girls to be adaptable, resilient, flexible, and strong, and emotionally intelligent. We can teach them, what's happening with my technology here this morning? That's what I mean when I say I'm not as, eloquent as the others. I need the notes. However, I was saying, but I think it is equally important to teach our girls to be adaptable, resilient, flexible, strong, and emotionally intelligent. We teach them that they can become what they want to be and more if they want to become more. And we teach them that it is fine to want more and better for themselves. While this foundation may be supported by pillars rooted in academic success, I am positive that it can be further strengthened and undergirded through interventions along the lines of emotional intelligence, well-being, and self-care, and steeped in the concepts of self-love and happiness. I think it is imperative that we teach our young ladies to live life, make memories, have fun, and the importance of having positive social experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, the few who are here with us and the others watching online, too many times we graduate girls excellently grounded in academia. Yet, these bright minds choose the wrong friends, they struggle in the work environment, they find themselves in abusive relationships, they lack confidence, self-esteem, and self-awareness. And it is my hope that this foundation will focus on the holistic development of our girls. I can only assume that some of us here have risen from backgrounds that can be deemed wanting, and it is because of our experiences that we are drawn to be part of initiatives such as these. In my opening sentence, I told you it was my personal self, Michelle, the girl who grew up on the seashores of Miku, who was excited to be here, not the PS. This is because I can appreciate what the focus of this organization is. Many of us have attained our self-actualization goals through the assistance of others. Persons who took an interest and guided, advised, mentored, rubbed our backs on the low days, cheered us on when we were winning, and when we got old enough, took us out for drinks to drown the hurts and dance the night away. Others amongst us got to attain our dreams through our own struggles, rising every time we fall and learning from real life lessons. We drew on inner strength and remained determined and focused. That kind of tenacity is born out of the resilient and adaptable mindset that I alluded to earlier. But whatever the journey, we can all use our stories and our experiences to advance another young woman. In closing, I really must extend congratulations to the directors of the foundation. St. Lucia needs an entity such as this, not just for the growth and the development of our young girls, but because the gains attained here will redound to a better and greater society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. We now call on Ms. Deborah Edward to the podium.
Wow, it's really my turn now. It's really my turn? Good. I wish to adopt the protocol which has been established. I did not write a formal speech because I think we've been running around quite a bit this week to ensure that everything was great. As you would have heard, just before I journeyed to Dominica, I started doing classes with a few students, and then I got promoted, had to go to Dominica, and I kind of stopped. But then 2 years ago, my company featured me in for International Women's Day. And as I read the bios of the other women, I remember saying to a very dear friend of mine, wow, these women's bios impressive. They have charities and I don't have anything. My bio was looking so ordinary. And I remember him saying to me, but Deborah, you're doing all of what they're doing, but you've just not formalized it. And so when I came back home, I sat down with a few of my girlfriends and said, listen, I would like to formalize this and I don't know what's involved. The very first girlfriend I spoke to was Raquel. I said, Raquel, how do I get a foundation registered? What do I need to do? And of course, she gave me the whole long legal line that kind of scared me. And then I got other girlfriends of mine involved, Leota Shalmang, Kendra, and Maria Lynch, who is online because she couldn't fly in from Barbados. And it has been a labor of love. So many people are saying, I want to congratulate Deborah, but please congratulate the founders because they have put together and they have worked extremely hard. Kendra wrote the entire business plan for the foundation. It's like we met one day in my bedroom, and 2 days later, she brought us a document this big. She sat and did the entire plan, and all we had to do was just tweak it. Maria Lynch is the strategist. I think because the Gigi's there, we can call her, we just have to say the strategist. But she's the one that really keeps us in check and literally bursts our tails if we come up with some harebrained idea that she thinks, tell me how you're going to market that. So Maria Lynch is in here. And of course, I spoke about Clemma. God, there are a few attorneys like Clemma. Clemma did everything legal we need to do at absolutely no cost. Clemma has just been fantastic. I want to say that we wanted 2 of the girls to be here, and I understand why 2 didn't want to come. Because women often, and young girls, and they want a help up, but they don't want a handout. And we've never put anything out to show a picture of us giving anything. And that's one of the things that I think as founders we like about the foundation, because everything can be done on a website where people will get help with no need for us to do a photo moment. And because as somebody who grew up without, I know how I sometimes felt when people gave my father used shoes or anything for me. So we've never done that. We've never put out a photo of anything. And the website now allows the young girls to remain almost anonymous and still continue to get the help. It would be remiss of me not to talk about my time at St. Joseph's Convent. And when I spoke to Her Excellency at church, I said to her, Dame, I know I was very troublesome at school. And she said, I was a little troublesome at school. And she said, a little? So I have to say that, Your Excellency, I'm extremely honored that you accepted our invitation. But let there be no doubt that my time spent with you at A-level college is part of what has shaped me to be the person I am today. And Sister Rufina. So I've shared with Nikki and a few of my friends, and all of us in the foundation have not necessarily the same stories, but similar stories of disadvantage. We do have a member of our foundation whose niece got pregnant very early at school, and going back to secondary school was challenging. The stigma around being pregnant and coming back to school, and I know that's why she's passionate about it. I shared with Nikki when I was at the convent, I didn't always have lunch, and I spent a lot of time in the bathroom during lunchtime because I didn't want my friends to know I didn't have lunch. But that time in the bathroom, I used to read my books, and I kind of did well. I always had a little bit of a guardian angel at the convent, the Sisters of St. Joseph's of Cluny. I am a Javoué scholar. My books and everything was paid for by the St. Joseph's Convent Javoué Scholarship Fund. And, without that funding, I'm not sure that my father would be able to have kept me at the convent. So it was not a surprise when I now officially announce that we are humble and honored that the Sisters of St. Joseph of Cluny have agreed to be the patron of the foundation. Sister, when I read your note, I think everybody know I like to cry, but I think I cried so much. I said, God is good, He's amazing. And I look forward to the other members of the foundation. And we have 3 ex-convent girls from different houses, coincidentally. 3 ex-convent girls on the foundation and 1 Bajan. But sister, we are looking forward to meeting with you. We do have a number of benefactors who have said to us, I'm very interested in pledging money to this foundation. While I am at it, let me just recognize Tom and Bonnie Pierce from Canada, who were actually the first set of people to pledge financially to the foundation. And I know they're online. I want to say that, you know, when I reached out to a few people, a good friend of mine, Irvin Springer, he said, why are we always doing things for girls? Girls have so many things. Why you don't do things for guys? And I'm like, do something for guys yourself. But I think, and Sister prayed for the crime that we are experiencing right now, but I think that when we help girls to make good decisions, and if, you know, I had a little more help as a young girl with some of the decisions I made, and mentoring, I probably would have made better decisions before I got to this point. But I think we need to help young girls with the choices they make. The choices they make with the company they keep. And that company they keep stems around how they value and how they see themselves. So as we help young girls, and you would have heard that we want to do, and I'm sorry Lovely isn't here, but we want to do a lot of work with the girls virtually on how to present yourself and what do you accept. What do you accept from a friend as acceptable? What do you accept as the type of boyfriend that you want or the type of partner that you want? I have to make an apology for Jadia Japierre, who was one of the first people who accepted the invitation but couldn't be here today. But the message that we both shared is that there's room at this table for all, irrespective of your ideology. There's room at this table for all. And though she's not here with us, I know this is the message that she would want me to say. So someone asked, how do you help the foundation? Well, I would like to say we would like money from everybody here, but we don't want money from anybody in this room. There's something everybody in this room has, and that's time. All we want and use today is to see how you could volunteer your time to the foundation. The time to asking us, sometimes, you know, just to talk to someone who's going through a difficulty. And while I'm at it, let me just acknowledge Lynn Paul, who has agreed to be the counselor for the foundation, offering free counseling services to young girls. You know, all of us are accomplished professionals in one way or the other. There's a subject that you know well, whether it is events planning, Karen, you know, whether it is Tessa, your area in HR, all of us have a skill that we know well, whether it is health and safety, whether it is HR with you, that you can find content around what you know and upload that content to help people, help young girls understand as they are going through what we went through 30 plus years ago. Shemalin said something that resonated with me, that, you know, to leverage your stories to get your purpose. I want to take this opportunity to apologize to my Father in heaven, because I did not understand how the poverty and the things I grew up without, how it would have inspired my purpose right now. So I was a little rebellious as a child, because there were many things I wanted that I didn't have, and I found that I always had to work harder for everything. And I think as founders, we shared that story, that there's a common thread in all of us that we've had to fight our way to get to where we are. Kendra is an accomplished manager at the brewery. Maria is a senior manager, digital. But we've had to to fight our way to get to the top. But to the young women who are in here, the young girls, and everybody's supposed to bring their daughters. Some people didn't quite understand that. But if you had a daughter, we wanted you to bring your daughter. But to the daughters in this room, we want to tell you that fighting and struggling and hustling to get to the top will be rewarded one day. The things that you go through now, you don't see it, but your aha moment is coming. And the final thing Shirmelin said is to know who your person is. I have a person. I think my person is rooted in the foundation. I think we have a glue that keeps us together. I think we talk a little too much, though. We probably stay on the phone too late and sometimes miss our sleep. But it's because we want to perfect what we do. We fight a lot and we feel very passionately about our individual ideas. But it's important to find that person that connects with you, that you could talk to, so that people are not pulling you in every different directions. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor as the... Have you all voted me yet as the president? We have not been voted yet as the president. I'm rallying to be the president. I think I deserve to be the president. The first president should be me. But they have not voted on that. I was about to say as the president of the foundation, and Kendra kind of gave me the eye. So as the campaigning president of the foundation, let me just say it is our, and I speak on behalf of all four of us, it is our unique honor that you chose to spend your Sunday with us. In a little while, Kendra is going to do the vote of thanks, but just to let everyone know, at lunchtime, we are putting away the phones. At lunchtime, the session is called Conversation with Our Daughters. See why you'll have to bring your daughters? But there are other daughters there. I'll be somebody's daughter. So there are 3 questions we have as the conversation. Last year we did it and it went very well. But we want us as women, with whoever is sitting next to you, to have that conversation. Let's not be on the phone, but let us have that conversation and let us see how we can come together and inspire the other young women who are at lunch with us today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Over to the MC.
Thank you very much, Deborah. So right now, we will have the vote of thanks by Kendra.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The founders of Girls Growing in Real Life Situations would like to extend heartfelt thanks to our Governor General Emeritus, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, Sister Rufina Donat, and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Cluny. Can you all tell I'm barely breathing? I'm nervous. For agreeing to be the patrons of the Girls Foundation. Mrs. Michelle Charles, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Sustainable Development, and Gender Relations. To our guest speakers, Dr. Tamara Remy and Shomalin Sidoni John, for their inspiring and practical messages, and Ms. Jenny Joseph, Director of Gender Affairs at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Labor, and Gender Affairs. To our sponsors, Sol EC Limited, for your contributions through the Parkland Pledge, Mr. Bradley Lacan of Calabash TV and Always, Mr. Colin Winsbert for sound and audio mixing, Mr. Javin Leo for web design and continuing to support the work of the foundation, Ms. Zenith James for decor, Ms. Alma St. Louis and Menissa Felix for your invaluable support with logistics and organization. Today would not have been possible without all of your efforts behind the scenes. Mr. Ted Sandiford for his creative insight, and Ms. Lynn Paul, who has agreed to serve as the counselor for the foundation. To our guests who are joining us both in person and virtually, We thank you for your time, your support, and your encouragement. And as we conclude and we go back into our communities, we remind you to lift as you climb. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kendra. So we shall now recess the lunch, but I want to just, two things I just did not mention. I want to shout out the virtual games team. I have to shout your girls out. I think, when we were discussing and developing the website, I said, look what we did with virtual games. And, this thing went global. The internet is a wide open space. And you all taught me how to just rely on doing things virtually. So thank you to those of you who are here. I have to thank out someone who was in the panel with me just this week, but I think she said we're going to Disneyland together. When she said that, I heard coffee. So I want to just thank the CEO of Digicel, Miss Nikima Roy, whom I met in Dominica. And can I say followed me to St. Lucia? Would that be fair? Followed me. She fell in love with me in Dominica, so she came in and she asked, can I be the CEO of Digicel, St. Lucia. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. But thank you so much, Nikki, for spending the day with us. Lunch is in the main restaurant. We were supposed to do some photos. Oh my God, my sister will kill me. I have to thank my sister. Oh my God, I lift up my head. I have to thank my sister. I have to thank her. You would know I was raised by my dad. So some of you know the story. I am an abandoned child. My mom left when I was 3 months. But I was practically raised by my sister here, who used to comb my hair, beat me, make me read my books and everything. So I have to recognize her. And I also have to recognize my adopted mom, who, because Obama is sick, could not be here with us in person. I know Tita is online. She is, for those of you all how many of you all met Tita? Almost everybody I met Tita. Tita is my ex-husband's mother, but she's like my mother. She's my left, right, and middle hand. She does. I could not do this job without her. I don't do anything at my home. Tita does everything with the housekeeper. Anytime I have a crazy idea, she just says, wow, you're going to make this turn to magic. And sometimes it happens. So Tita, thank you so much for your love and for your support. To all of my friends who are here, and Lord, tomorrow I'm going to get so much, because I had to tell people today we cannot accommodate everybody because we are watching a budget. But everyone who will see this on social media, this is my final remark. Next year, Beauties and Brunch is going to be a plated event where you will have to pay so that we can raise funds for the foundation. So all those of you who wanted to be here and you are not here, next year you will be able to pay for your plates, and we'll get a big venue, because one of my best friends, in fact, the first time my father allowed me to sleep at somebody's home was at Raquel's home. My father didn't let me go anywhere. So one of my best friends is a big events coordinator. I know she will be on board with me next year in the foundation. So do not feel left out if you're watching this. Just start saving your 150 US, because that's the price of jazz, because everything the foundation raised, we are going to be contributing to St. Joseph's Convent, which is the alma mater of the majority of us in the foundation. So thank you very much. Let us eat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.